and all, welcome to Seeing Through Glass. Today's video is going to be, well, a little bit different. I'm super excited to say that I'm once again working with Shell on a whole load of content you're going to be seeing over the next few months. And I'm really interested to find out how Shell is still using their motorsport partnerships to research and develop everything that they do, especially as the world kind of becomes ever more EV focused. For example, did you know that Shell are a partner of the Nissan Edam's Formula E team? When I found that out, I was like, oh, I wonder what Shell do in Formula E. Well, to help me find out and then hopefully explain to you what that partnership is all about, right now, Shell have arranged for me to go and check out a highly modified, insane, track-focused Nissan Leaf race car. Of all the electric vehicles that you could imagine being converted into a race car, I'm pretty sure none of you thought about a Nissan Leaf. So I'm sure you'd agree that really is no ordinary Nissan Leaf. I'm going to come out and say it, I think this thing looks mental. It's so aggressive, it's so low. Now, to ensure I kind of, got the most out of today, extracted the most out of this opportunity, Shell very kindly offered to arrange for a professional racing driver to come down and, well, talk me through this car, but also talk me through how to optimize an experience in a sort of highly modified, track-focused EV. So that sounds like a good idea, but it became a great idea when Shell said that racing driver would be Jan Mardenborough. If you don't know about Jan, he's one of the original simulator to real life racers. Back in 2011, he won Nissan's GT Academy. He's gone on to compete in LMP2, GP3, many formulas, and he's currently the Nissan Edam's Formula E simulator driver. Jan, thank you so much for coming down today. It means a lot. I feel like you've done the kind of transition that so many people have dreamt of, going from like computer game racer to real life racer. Is it as good as maybe I imagined?
It's better, to drive a racing car from just playing computer games is, what like 10-year-old doesn't want that. So
what 32-year-old doesn't want that?
Yeah,
I'm 32,
exactly.
so I still want that,
you've driven an F1 car, so like you're doing it as well.
I didn't need to show off, but thank you. Yeah. Well, look, tell us, what actually is this thing? Because I'm looking at it going, it looks mad and it doesn't look like a Leaf. So what is this?
Well, it is a Leaf. It's a Nissan Leaf Nismo RC. It's a carbon-tubbed, pretty much racing car. It has two motors from the production road car, so it has 322 horsepower, four-wheel drive, but everything is bespoke carbon. We have, proper racing brakes, front and rear. It weighs 1,220 kilos. Which is light for an EV, huh? Yeah, I mean, I don't know what that power per ton is, but it does 0 to 60 in 3.4, so it's,
oh my God, okay.
It's rapid. It wants to live out its motorsport dreams, so the best testing ground or the test bed for anything to develop is motorsport. Test things to extreme. So we have the production motor and inverter from the road car, and obviously Nissan does Formula E with the Nissan Edams. So anything that this team can learn from this prototype can be transferred to the road cars and also the Nissan Formula E race car. Obviously it's Shell who've given me the opportunity to unbelievably get behind the wheel of this thing. I'm slightly getting more and more nervous the more you're telling me about it. But maybe you're the wrong person to ask, but in layman's terms, how is a company like Shell involved with EVs? What's their role here? So it's about efficiency. So in 2018, Nissan teamed up with Shell, and recently at the Monaco Formula E Grand Prix, they introduced a new type of e-lubricant, and the car has a gearbox in the Formula E car. Obviously, any car is a mechanical device. So if you can develop a fluid which has less friction, that's beneficial for efficiency. So you can get more power from the gearbox to the rear wheels, which will give you more performance. So that's why Shell are involved. Well, fair enough, and I'm very glad they are, because as I say, they're giving me this opportunity. Now, what tips do you have before I get behind that wheel? I mean, you're a Formula 1 driver. You've driven an F1 car. Don't blow up my ego any bigger than it already is. So I think you'd be okay. I mean, no, it's a racing car, so you have to warm brakes, you have to make sure the tyres are actually warmed properly. There's going to be a lot of sensations and vibrations. I mean, there's nothing inherently different you have to do. You just got to be aware of the instant torque straight away, not to loop it because you have, 640 newton meters from like 0 RPM.
Okay, so that's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
As much as a GTR, basically.
Yeah.
Right, well, you're much more professionally dressed than I am. I'm looking a little bit casual, so I think I should suit up, and then maybe you can take me on a couple of passenger laps.
Let's do it.
Do you know where you're going?
Vaguely.
Right. Okay, I'll give you my photograph. This is a thing. It's so raw. They're instant torque. E-car's this loud?
Yes.
It's loud! I mean, obviously, in comparison to a combustion engine car, it's quiet. It's definitely not silent. Oh, it's very good! Wow! I really hope it came across just how raw and unexpected an experience that just was. This thing is an absolute weapon. I'm now kind of terrified to get behind the wheel of it. It's a proper thoroughbred race car. It feels like it from the passenger seat, and yes, the noise is very different, but as I kept saying, it's so loud in there. It's really loud. Now, say what you want or think what you want about EVs. The one thing which I really like about what EVs are doing for the automotive sector is the fact that they're making all these companies kind of push forward and research and develop all kind of new things. Nissan are using this Leaf Nismo RC as a sort of test bed for many different sort of elements of an EV, but Shell are also doing that, as we heard from Jan earlier, with the e-fluids, and their partnership with the Nissan EDAM's Formula E team is, well, like many other motorsport partnerships they've had over the years. They've always used it as a great place to test out new things, sort of future-proof themselves, really. And as we move into this new age, Shell are doing lots of things like their sort of recharge network, the e-fluids, the e-greases, and a lot of that is being developed in motorsport through their link-ups with teams, as I say, like Nissan. So there's a lot of sort of synergy there between this project and then Shell's own projects within the sort of EV space. And it feels a bit like the space race from way back in the day. All these companies kind of jumping over each other to try and find sort of new ways of doing things, because whilst EVs are definitely here, we are still at the beginning of the journey. There's still a lot to learn and discover and try. And so, yeah, coming to a day like today when we've got this ridiculous experiment that is the Leaf Nismo RC, it's a great display of what the possibilities are. Anyway, I'm just sort of slightly wasting time now and talking a lot because, as I say, I'm holding off, or I feel like I need to prepare myself before I get behind the wheel of this thing. Okay, fine, I'm sure it's going to be great, but the only other reason I'm nervous is there's only like 5 of these in the world, and Nissan are very protective over it. They haven't really ever let anyone who's not a professional racing driver drive it, so yeah, it's a lot of responsibility. Am I going to be surprised by the torque? Do I need to be quite careful on the accelerator?
Yeah, I mean, push. Have some fun.
Yeah. Make sure I
feel the instant torque.
Oh my God, there we go. Moving a bit straight away. Wow, my heart is racing so fast. Dude, thank you so much, honestly. What an experience. I'm so glad neither of us got hurt.
You did well, man.
Hey, I'm glad you said that, but I think the car did well.
It's a good car. It's a good car.
I hope to see you again soon. Thank you for the opportunity.
All good.
Cheers, bud.
See you soon.
What an unbelievable day. Honestly, I'm still recovering from that experience. I know I've said it, but it was just so unexpected. How did they transform this, a standard Leaf, into the thing that I just drove and rode in? I mean, honestly, the ride with Jan was slightly more impressive because obviously he was really thrashing it. Yeah, so exciting. And you know what it's made me realise is that, you know, that partnership, that Shell-Nissan partnership, rings true of any of Shell's motorsport partnerships. It's kind of essential. Neither can exist without the other. And that really does funnel down onto the road because, you know, you can't use an EV day-to-day without a charging infrastructure. So the Shell Recharge network has to be there. And there's no point in Shell having that network if there's no EVs to charge. So yeah, it's been a really eye-opening and interesting day, and you know, with my kind of quest to learn more, but also really start to embrace this new EV world, well, it's helped. I mean, put me on track with a racing driver in an exciting car. I'm always going to be like, yeah, I'm so into this. But I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I hope you've learned something. Give it a thumbs up if you have enjoyed it. And make sure you stay subscribed, because as I mentioned at the beginning, this is just the start of a whole load of content I'm going to be doing with Shell over the next few months. We've got some really exciting things planned, including a bit more content with this, the standard road-going Leaf. Now I've experienced a really extreme Leaf. I need to get to grips with a standard car. I've got a slightly mad idea for that, which I actually need to brief Shell on. They don't know about that idea. Anyway, stay tuned.